it was a very strange week with the weather, I think, just for everybody. It's been a while since we've sort of battled the elements of no wind to a lot of wind to rain all day, back to no wind. So just proud of Austin and I hung in there all day knowing that it was going to take a low one. I've been coming here since I was about 9 years old to visit my grandparents. I sort of fell in love with this country a long time ago. So I can't wait to bring my son here when he's old enough to sort of understand and appreciate the culture here in Japan. The ties run deep for the Schauffele family here in Japan. I was confident. I didn't. Definitely had doubts. I think every player in any sport, at some point in time, you feel like you're on top of the world, and then you feel like not that you've lost it, but you feel less confident. So I have a really good team around me. They pick me up when I'm down, and this is really special for me, and sooner than I thought. To be fair, I was running out of events in 2025 to sort of put my mark on it. So. I'm sure when I look back on 2025 at the end of my career, I'll smile and think it was a great year. I hope so. I think our sport's getting younger and younger and younger, and I'm not getting any younger. So it's nice to end this year with a bang. And I turned 32 this month, so. Hopefully, I catch some stride or get into a good stride here into my sort of mid-30s. I think so. I mean, I was plenty nervous. It was the first – it's been, over a year since I was even, looking at winning a golf tournament. I was probably just as nervous or more nervous than they were just because, I knew I've done it before, and I had to dig kind of deep into my memory to do it again. So – they're both Max and Michael played very solid golf. We were neck and neck through 15, 16 holes, and then Max almost holed out on the last hole. So it was it's very satisfying win because they're great players. I mean, mentally, I definitely felt different after having Maya and I had our first son, and. I'm a young dad, I guess. He's only just over 6 weeks old, and but yeah, it's weird. I'd do anything for him. So that part mentally feels different than anything else that I haven't really identified exactly what it is. It's still kind of fresh. So, but it's definitely a cool thing being a dad, and I'm so excited to go home to him and Maya after this. I thought at the Ryder Cup I played pretty solid. I let Pat hang in our second alternate match or foursomes match. I played really poor there and let him down. But the other rounds, I felt like I was kind of starting to play some good golf. It's very high stakes, very high pressure golf, and I started to hit some shots, that I wasn't really hitting throughout the year. So I think the whole tournament, even though we lost, for me personally, I was able to hit a few shots in high stakes moments that sort of gave me a little bit of confidence, for sure. Just probably a big get together, a few drinks with, if you saw a lot of my family members aren't, of age to have any alcohol, so just a few drinks with the family, decompress a little bit, and. Yeah, I mean, I don't get to see them very often, and they've always been gracious with their time to come out wherever, the event was or would be, in Yokohama or in Chiba. So, they've been awesome to me, and this is pretty cool. I've really wanted to share a win with them, so I can't wait to get together with them.